How's it going, everyone? How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Wednesday Evening Encore. Welcome back to Wednesday Evening Encore. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Wednesday Evening Encore, where today's insight could be tomorrow's profits. I am Christopher D. Thomas, and in this session, we'll dive into Trend Hacking 101. Ride cultural waves or sink. Have you ever wondered how some brands seem to always be at the forefront, turning heads, capturing hearts? What if I told you that your ability to spot and harness cultural trends could determine your business survival or demise? So this evening, in this Wednesday Evening Encore, we're going to unpack how you can not only keep up, but be the change in your industry or lead the change in your industry. So that's what we're going to discuss this evening. Remember, opportunities don't just come, they are created. So let's discover, we're going to transform, we're going to create. Make sure you follow, share, save, turn on notifications for a journey into the pulse of the market. We always start this Wednesday Evening Encore with a story. And these are real life stories we have either been a part of or in some form or fashion worked on, consulted, in some form or fashion, or real life stories that other colleagues have encountered. Today, we're going to talk about a woman by the name of Sarah. And Sarah is the founder of a tech company. And they're in the space of virtual reality. Her company, develops virtual reality experiences. Now, Sarah noticed a rising interest in immersive fitness during the early days of virtual reality. And all of us have gone through COVID, the shutdown of the world where many things went virtual, as well. And virtual reality at one point seemed like something that was only going to be of a novelty. However, with the change of the world and one shift of a global disease that shut down the entire world, there was a quickly rise of virtual and also virtual reality. And Sarah was on the forefront, of that. So what Sarah did, instead of following the pack into the gaming space, she steered her company to develop virtual reality fitness programs, tapping into a trend that eventually exploded into popularity. So being on the forefront of that, when virtual reality at one point was only pre-COVID, was only from a novelty standpoint, and then or from a gaming standpoint, she saw something different. And so she decided to create a program that was fitness related. Now, let's look at this from a different perspective. Now, here's the problem. Many businesses struggle because they react to trends too late, many of them, and they miss the wave, right? And that could carry them to success. Now, consider the frustration right? The financial drain of investing into a trend only after it's peaked. How will that make you feel? You know, many of us will feel like, hey, our efforts were become less effective, like almost like shouting into the wind. So to be truly beneficial, you need to become a trend hacker. Someone who identifies potential trends early, leverage them in order to steer your brand into a position of industry leadership. Now, taking this approach ensures that you're not just participating into the market, but you're helping to shape it. Now, I've created 5 actionable strategies that you can inject into your business, into your brand immediately, and start to see shifting and success. The things that very, very don't take a whole lot of effort or resources in order to make some of these slight changes into your business, into your brands. And I have 5. 1, you want to stay informed. Subscribe to industry journals, follow influencers, participate in forums that discuss future directions into your market. It gets a bad rap, but there's a platform called Reddit. Reddit is kind of a forum type of platform that you can put in, search different topics, and which will allow you to join in and see what other folks are talking about. And these majority of them are real folks, not bots that are out there. They're real individuals from all over the globe who participate. That is one way that you can stay informed. A second way to excel in trend hacking, implement another strategy. The second strategy is consumer insights. Use social listening tools to monitor what your customers are talking about. Analyze the data, predict where their interests are heading. Now, some may ask, well, what the heck is a social listening tool? If you do a nice little search on Google and Google social listening tools, there are a plethora of tools that are out there, as well, that help you to be able to analyze the data, see what folks are talking about. A third trend hacking strategy is pilot small tests. So before fully committing, to a test, test it out small. You don't have to go all in. Test it out small. Launch minimum scalable projects, and you'll be able to gauge your response without any significant risk. And when I say risk, meaning, time, effort, other resources, as well, team involvement, because you may need other participants, other people to participate with you as well. 4, agile implementation. Now, it's important to be agile. And what I mean by agile, you can also think about flexibility, adaptability, as well. You want to develop the capability of being able to act quickly, once a trend is identified. So once you identify a trend, if it fits within your own, your industry, along with the way that you move, as well, then you need time to be able to act on that quickly. Being agile in your operations can be the difference between capitalizing on a trend and missing out on it. Number 5 is a feedback loop. Create a system where feedback from your tests can be rapid and assimilated and be able to be used and adjusted to your strategy and also your product offering. You want to get you want a feedback loop that's going to give you rapid information so that you can assimilate what you want to do and need to do very quickly. Now, why do these 5 work? Now, I'm going to repeat those 5 action steps that are strategies that you can inject into your business and into your brand immediately and start to excel in trend hacking. 1, stay informed. 2, consumer insights. 3, pilot small tests. It doesn't have to be anything large. 4, agile implementation. You want to be able to act quickly. And 5 is your feedback loop. You want to get information about how your system is benefiting folks. If it's beneficial, if it's valuable, as well. You want to get feedback on that. So integrate feedback loops. Now, why do these 5 work? Employing these strategies allows you to respond dynamically to changes, ensuring that your brand remains relevant and engage with its audience. We're here not to just catch a wave, but our goal is to create the waves. That's our goal. Now, think about how these principles can be integrated into your current business model, right? Are you positioned to pivot? If the thought of navigating through some uncharted waters alone seems to be a little daunting, remember that, we at NMM Group specialize in helping brands like yours, not just to adapt, but to lead. So let's explore what trend hacking can do for your business. Now back to Sarah. As I mentioned, I was giving you an example of someone who we worked with, happened to be a woman-owned business, and in the space of virtual reality. And we shared with you earlier that Sarah was on the front end, and she saw something that was coming. Pre-COVID, virtual reality was more so of a novelty, and also for gaming. Not many other industries were using virtual reality. So, however, Sarah saw something coming, and she decided to focus all of her virtual reality interests into exercising. And this all happened pre-COVID. And we know that whole business and space totally elevated through the roof once COVID hit. Now, Sarah's decision to focus on fitness, VR, became mainstream, not because of luck. It was strategic foresight. So now her company isn't just a company. They've created community, and they're also trendsetters, in the fitness technology space. Now, I challenge you. To identify one emerging trend within your industry. One emerging trend in your industry. Now, how can you align your business not to just meet this trend, but to take charge of it? Start with one small test. One small test. That's all you need. Measure the impact. If you integrate those 5 trend-setting strategies, and I'm going to go back and review them with you again. Now, these are being recorded, so if you're watching on Instagram or if you're watching on YouTube, you can always go back to get this. But for the sake of the conversation, stay informed, consumer insights, pilot small tests, agile implementation, and a feedback loop. Now, I go into a little bit more details if you go back to revisit this recording, and I kind of break down what each of those mean. But I wanted to share that again very, very briefly. So now I challenge you to identify one emerging trend in your industry. One, only one emerging trend in your industry. How can you align your business to not just meet that trend, but to take charge of it? Start with one small test. Measure the impact. And for deeper insights and strategic guidance, feel free to visit our website or message us directly, message me directly, or message us at NMM Group. And together, we can transform your business into a trend-setting leader. So don't miss out on next week's episode. And we already have a theme for that. That theme is your marketing plan is boring. Set their senses on fire. That's what we're going to be talking about next Wednesday. We'll explore how to electrify your marketing strategies to captivate and engage like never before. Make sure you follow, share, save, turn on notifications. And thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining today's exploration into trend hacking. Remember, in the world of business, being early is being on time. I'm going to repeat. In the world of business, being early is being on time. So drop a comment below with a trend that you're watching. Share how you've successfully ridden a cultural wave. And until next time, keep discovering, keep transforming, and always keep creating your success. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.